Namaskaram students. In today's lesson, Chemistry in Everyday Life, we are going to see the rest of the classes of drugs and food additives. What is food additives means? They are the substance they are added with the food to improve the quality of food. So the next one, preservative. Preservatives means, for example, pickle. Mainly we add more amount of salt. Why we are adding more amount of salt? To deter to avoid the spoilage of the food. So that is called as preservative. The next one, antioxidant. Antioxidant means oxidize. Because of oxidize, some food may get into spoilage. So to avoid that, we are going to add some antioxidant. That is called as, because of oxidation, we are going to, that food never spoil. If you add this antioxidant means the spoilage of food is prevented. The next one, sugar substitution. We naturally have sugar. That sugar, instead of that sugar, some substitution we are adding. That chemical is called as sugar substituents. The next one, artificial sweetening agent. Artificially, it provides some sweetness. That is called as artificial sweetening agent. The next one, cleansing agent. Cleansing agent means soaps, detergent. So that we are going to see the what mechanism behind that in cleansing action. The next one, polymers. So rest of the lesson in PPT.
Antihistamines, they are act against the histamines. First of all, histamines means they are the chemicals that causes allergies. So antihistamines, they block the histamines message that release from the histamine 1 receptor, so that we get the relief from the allergy effect, because histamines are producing allergies. So that the antihistamines, they relieve from the allergy effect. Example for antihistamines are cetirizine, levocetirizine, teslerodardine, brompheniramine, terfenadimine. These are all the example for antihistamine. The next one, antimicrobials. Microbial means some microbes. For example, bacteria, they act against the bacteria. First of all, beta-lactam, it is one of the antibiotic. That beta-lactam, it contains beta-lactam ring. That is, the beta-lactam ring means it is a cyclic amide. Here the nitrogen is attached to the beta carbon. Now see the example in penicillin and amoxicillin. I circulated in red color. In that ring is called as beta-lactam ring. Here the nitrogen is attached in the beta position. Example for this antimicrobe, that beta-lactam are penicillin, ampicillin, cephalosporins, carbaphinums, monobactams. Then this microbial, how they act means they inhibit the bacterial cell wall biosynthesis. And uses of this beta-lactams are, they are used in skin infection, dental infection, ear infection, respiratory tract infection, pneumonia, urinary tract infection, and another one type of bacteria disease is gonorrhea. So these are all that beta-lactam, they are used in these type of diseases and give relief. Macrolides, these are all antibiotics. They are used to treat bacterial infection. How they reacted means, they first of all they target the bacterial ribosome, so that they prevent the protein production by preventing the joining of amino acid. Uses of these macrolides are, they are treating respiratory tract infection, genital, gastrointestinal tract, and skin infection. And next two categories, fluoroquinolones. These fluoroquinolones are the family of synthetic broad spectrum antibiotics. It is one of the antibiotics. They are used to destroy the bacteria by interfering with the DNA replication. So how they act means, they inhibit the bacterial enzyme, that is DNA gyrase. The DNA gyrase enzyme is inhibited by fluoroquinolones. And uses of this one, it is used in treat urinary tract infection, skin infection, respiratory infection, What are the types means? Sinusitis, pneumonia, bronchitis. So these are related with the respiratory infection. And pulmonary infection. Pulmonary infection means it is related to lungs. In cystic fibrosis. That cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease. An example for fluoroquinolones are clinofloxacin, ciprofloxacin, and levofloxacin. Tetracyclines, here it is also antibiotics, and they interact with the 30S subunit of bacterial ribosome. There are two types of subunit in bacterial ribosome. They are 30S subunit and 50S subunit. The 30S subunit is a small one and 50S subunit is a large one. These 30S subunit, they provide the binding site for the messenger RNA, and also it is responsible for monitoring base pairing between the codon on messenger RNA and the anticodon on transfer RNA. Now the tetracycline, they are interact with the 30th subunit of bacterial ribosome, so that they inhibit the production of protein synthesis in bacteria. For example, for tetracycline, doxycycline, minocycline, oxytetracycline. And what is the uses of these tetracyclines are? They used in the treatment peptic ulcer disease, that is caused in the stomach, and infection in the respiratory tract, cholera, acne vulgaris. What is acne vulgaris means? It is a pimples. And another one, aminoglycosid, it is also a antibiotic. The same like a tetracycline, they are also bind with the 30th subunit of the bacterial ribosome, and they prevent the protein making. Protein making means synthesis of protein. The same one in the tetracycline. And example for this aminoglycosides are kanamycin, zenitamycin, neomycin. Uses of this one: some of the diseases, they are caused by gram-negative bacteria. That diseases, they are treated with the help of aminoglycosides. Antiseptics, they slow down or stop the growth of microorganism on the living cell. And uses means it reduces the infection during the surgery and also some other procedure. Example for that: hydrogen peroxide, povidone iodine, benzalgonium chloride. Then another one, disinfectant, the same like antiseptic, they slow down or stop the growth of microorganism. But in antiseptic, they applied on the living tissue, but in disinfectant, they applied on the non-living object, that is inanimate object. Example for disinfectants are chlorine compounds, alcohol, hydrogen peroxide. There is some difference between antiseptic and disinfectant. Antiseptic, they destroy microbes but also inhibit their growth. But in disinfectant, they only destroy the microbes alone. The next one, they do not harm living tissues in antiseptic, but in disinfectant, they cause harm to the living tissue. So that the disinfectants, they are only applied on the non-living objects. Anti-fertility drugs, they are synthetic hormones. For example, synthetic estrogen, ethinyl estradiol, menstrual, and synthetic prostrogen. In this one, norethindrone, norethinodrel. These synthetic hormones, they suppress the ovulation. What is ovulation? Means release of egg from the ovary. And fertilization means joining of sperm with the ovule. So that they are used in the birth control pills. In packed food items, usually they mentioned what are the ingredients inside the food items. These ingredients, they enhance the nutritive, sensory, and also practical value of the food. and also they extend the life of that food. So what are all the substance they extend the life of the food and quality of the food? They are called as food additives. What are the food additives we are using means aroma compound, food colors, preservatives, stabilizer, artificial sweeteners, antioxidant, buffering substance. Buffering substance means they maintain the pH value at constant level, and vitamins and minerals. So these are all the food additives we are using. And what is the advantage of food additives means the preservative they extend they prevent the spoilage of food and also extend the life of the food. And next one, the second one, vitamins and minerals. If you add the vitamins and minerals means it reduce the malnutrition. One, flavoring agents. Flavoring agent means it gives flavor, good flavor to that food, that is called as aroma. The next one, antioxidant. What is anti means against the oxidants. When the food undergo oxidation, the oxidation products are toxic. So we have to reduce the toxic level of food by using this antioxidant. That antioxidants they prevent the formation of potentially toxic oxidation product of lipids and also other food constituents. Preservative they prevent redod means decreases, or arresting means they stop the process of fermentation, acidification or other decomposition of food by growth of microorganism. That means preservative they decrease the growth of microorganism in the process fermentation. What is fermentation means it is a metabolic process. With the help of enzyme they produces chemical changes. That one is inhibit or stop or decrease with the help of preservative. Some example for chemical, for example organic acid, benzoic acid, sorbic acid and their salts. They are all the powerful inhibitor for the number of fungi, yeast and bacteria. So they prevent the formation of fungi, yeast and bacteria with the help of benzoic acid and sorbic acid and their salt. The next one, in these preservative, for example alkyl ester of hydroxybenzoic acid, they are effective even though in less acidic condition. Then acetic acid it used as a preservative in pickles and also in vegetables. Sodium metasulfate it is used as a preservative in fresh vegetable and fruits. The next one, sucrose ester with palmitic and stearic acid, they are used as a emulsifier. So far we used some chemicals. That one is called as chemical treatment. So in along with the chemical treatment we can use some physical method, that is heat treatment. That is in heat treatment there is two way. One is pasteurization, another one sterilization, and another method cold treatment. Cold treatment means whether it is a sealing or freezing. The next one, drying, that is removal of water, that is called as dehydration. Then another method, irradiation. So using this method we can preserve the food. Not only the chemical alone used to preserve the food, we can use some other method. They are heat treatment, cold treatment, drying, irradiation. These are all called as physical method. Antioxidant, the food containing fats, oil, they are easily oxidized and turn into ran acid, so that the food get into spoil. That food spoilage they are redorded. Redorded means decreases with the help of antioxidant. That antioxidant that does not allow the food material to oxidize, so that the spoilage of food is prevented. For example, the chemical PHT, butyl hydroxytoluene, and BHA, butylated hydroxyanisole, if they added with the food, if they added as a food additives, they prevent the oxidation of fat and oil, so that the fat and oil not turn into ran acid. Rancid means spoilage. These are all called as antioxidants, the PHT and BHA. The next one, these material they undergo oxidation by With the help of free radical, they are generated by oxidation of oils. Thereby, they stop the chain reaction of oxidation of food. For example, for another antioxidants are sulfur dioxide, sulfite. They are used as a food additives, and also it is used as a antimicrobial agent, antioxidant, and enzyme inhibitor. The next category is sugar substituents. These sugar usually the sugar is metabolized. Metabolized means the bigger molecules are breaked into a smaller molecule, metabolized with the help of insulin. But here the sugar substituent, they are not they give the sweet, but they are not metabolized with the help of insulin. This is the difference between the normal sugar and sugar substituent. For example, for sugar substituent, sorbitol, xylitol, mannitol. The next one, artificial sweetening agent. They give the sweet sensation, but when compared to the normal sugar having some nutritional value, but this artificial sweetening agent, they doesn't have the nutritional value. The example for artificial sweetening agent: saccharin, aspartame, sucralose, altidame, etc. Soaps are sodium or potassium salt of higher fatty acid. Detergent means it is a sodium salt of alkyl hydrogen sulfate or alkyl benzene sulfonic acid. Now soaps, they are obtained from animal fats or vegetable oil. These are all contain glyceryl ester of long chain fatty acid. For example, see the reaction: glyceryl palmitate, it is a ester. That ester, it is artificially we get, means we have to join the glycerol and also palmitic acid, then we get the ester glyceryl palmitate. It is a glyceryl ester. When it is reacted with when it is heated with the sodium hydroxide, the sodium split as a sodium hydroxide split as sodium and OH. So 3 sodium, it is combined with the what I underlined red color, that is combined with the sodium, we get sodium palmitate. In that sodium palmitate only it is obtained as a soap. Here 16 carbon is there, so that dec means 16 carbon, and it is a ester, so decanoate, sodium hexadecanate, and also we get the glycerol. This type of reaction is called a saponification reaction. When now we obtain the soap, in that soap we are adding common salt. That common salt is used to decrease the solubility of soap, and also it is helps to precipitate out from the aqueous solution. That soap, it is precipitated from the aqueous solution with the help of common salt, and then the soap is now mixed with some colors, perfumes, and neem like chemicals, neem like medicines. The quality of soap, it is described with the help of total fatty matter, that is TFM value. If the TFM value is higher, that is called as better quality soap. What is TFM means? It is defined as the total amount of fatty matter that can be separated when the sample after splitting with the mineral acid. The grade 1 soap, the grade 1 soap means it contains 76% of TFM value, and grade 2 and 3, they have 70% and also 60% respectively. Then the quality parameters are leather, moisture contents, moussiness. Moussiness means softness, and they should not soluble in alcohol. These are all the quality parameters to find out the soap quality. For example, for soap, sodium palmitate, formula for that CH3CH2 14CH2 and COONA. There are 16 carbon and 2 oxygen and 1 sodium. And here the structure of sodium palmitate is given. The zigzag position is called as zigzag position containing 15 carbon and 1 carbon COO minus, that is carboxyl portion. That carboxyl portion is a polar because it contains negative as well as positive Na plus. The zigzag portion is called as non-polar. that is they contain the hydrocarbon portion, and it is a hydrophobic. Hydro means water and phobic means hating, so it is water hating portion, and carboxyl portion is a hydrophilic. Hydro means water, philic means it attracting, so it is soluble in water. The carboxyl portion alone soluble in water, so that the palmitate they exhibit 2l polarity. One portion is it is a non-polar, another portion that is carboxyl portion is a polar one. So now the grease means dirt particle. The dirt particle are soluble in hydrocarbon portion, and they form that negative portion. Negative portion means carboxyl portion, they live on the surface of that grease portion. The non-polar part they dissolve in grease, but the polar negative end, that is carboxylate group, they are strongly attracted by water, so that they form a small droplet that is called as micelles. That micelles they do not combine into large drops because their surfaces they are having negatively charged. So each negatively charged micelles they repel with each other, so that there is no big form of micelles. And this is the cleaning ability of soap, and water is rinsed away, the grease goes with that. Now the cloth is free from the dirt. And the cleaning ability of soap, it is depends on the emulsifying agent between the water and water insoluble greases. Detergents, these chemicals are different from that soap. What are the chemicals inside means it is a sodium salt of alkyl hydrogen sulfate or sodium salt of long chain alkyl benzene sulfonic acid. Detergent type, three type. One is anionic detergent, cationic detergent, non-ionic detergent. In anionic detergent, one example is given sodium lauryl sulfate. In this one there is how many carbon is present means 12 carbon, along with that SO4, that one oxygen is minus is there, so it is a anionic detergent. The next one cationic detergent. In this cationic detergent you see the structure, nitrogen containing positive character, so that positive character means it is a cationic detergent. Then here how many carbon is present means 16 carbon. 16 carbon means hexadecane. So hexadecane, and first carbon it contains nitrogen. That nitrogen is attached with 3 methyl, so that N, N trimethyl hexadecane 1 iminium chloride. And then next one non-ionic detergent. For example, pentaerythritol stearate, it is a common name, but IUPAC name, for that we put the number. In right hand side there is 3 carbon is present. The second carbon containing CH2OH group twice, that is called as bis hydroxymethyl. The CH2OH is called as bis hydroxymethyl. It is present in the second carbon, so that the name is present as 2,2 bis hydroxymethyl. And third carbon it contains 1 hydroxy, so that 3 hydroxy. And totally in right hand side how many carbon present means 3 carbon I indicated in red color, so that propyl. And in left hand side there is 7 carbon, so 7 carbon means hept, and it is a ester, so that heptanoid. And here there is no positive and negative charges, it is represented in this one, so it is a non-ionic detergent. Now next one, when compared to the soap, the detergents are superior. Why they are superior means they are acted in the hot water and also in acidic condition. We can use the detergent in hot water as well as in acidic condition, but the soap, the action of soap is not an effective one in hot water and acidic conditions. This is the difference between the detergent and soap. Polymer, in Greek word polymer means having many parts. For example, see the reaction vinyl chloride. The vinyl chloride is a monomer. After polymerization, the vinyl we get the many number of chain. The same, how many carbon is there in the left hand side? 2 carbon and 3 hydrogen and 1 chlorine. But the same 2 carbon, 3 hydrogen, 1 chlorine, it is repeated many times. So it is called as polymer. Name of that compound is polyvinyl chloride. The N indicate that it is a more than 1500 times. We can't indicate the N in the single slide, so that only we put the N value. So it is called as polymer, and the polymer we can classify it as based on the availability, structure, molecular forces and mode of synthesis. We will see in the next slide. Polymers, some polymers they are obtained from plants, animals, they are called as natural polymers. Example, cellulose and silk. And some polymers we are prepared from the chemicals, they are called as synthetic polymers. Example, polythene, PVC, etc. Some another one, semi synthetic, half of the material we are getting from chemical, half of the material we are getting from the natural, so that is called as semi synthetic polymer. For example, viscose rayon, cellulose diacetate. The next one, based on the structure, the polymer are classified as into 3: linear polymer, branched polymer, cross-linked polymer. Linear polymer means they contain linear chain. For example, HTPE, PVC. The next one, branched polymer means along with the chain, they have the smaller branches. So that is called as branched polymer. Polypropylene, LDPE. The next one, cross-linked polymer means the chain polymer are linking together. That is called as cross-linked polymer. Example, bakelite, melamine, formaldehyde. Polymers, they are classified with the help of molecular forces. The first one, elastomer. It is a soft and stretchy one. For example, neoprene, bunias, and rubbers. The next one, fibrous polymer chain. They formed by fibers by hydrogen bonding. And for example, that nylon 6,6 terling. Next one, thermoplastic. On heating, they become soft, and cooling, they become hard. So we can remold this type of plastic. For example, polythene, PVC, polystyrene. Thermosetting plastic, they do not become a soft on heating, but they set to a invisible mass upon heating. For example, bakelite, melamine, formaldehyde. The next one, polymer we can classify it as based on the mode of synthesis. It is based on mode of synthesis. There are two types. One is addition polymer, then another one is condensation polymer. Addition polymer means we are going to add the polymer but without eliminating any byproduct. For example, polyethylene, PVC, Teflon. In condensation polymer, we are going to link the polymers, and then we have to remove some 2 or more monomers. With the elimination of this molecule, for example, water, ammonia, we get the polymers. For example, nylon 66 polyester.